Hey, 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 everybody, and you are tuned in to FCN Prime News. I am Tresnay, your anchor for tonight, and boy, am I glad it is Thursday. I love Thursday nights here at FCN. First of all, because after the airing of FCN Prime News, the Scandal pregame show airs, and in the studios, it gets real live in here because about 20 people from the FCN family be up in here, and the energy is crazy. And because we all know Thursday nights is really the beginning of the weekend, and Lord knows I need some time. I've had a crazy week. A sister darn near had a mental breakdown this week, okay? And she needs a little self-care, as the Twitter millennials have taught me to say. Hashtag self-care. That's how they do it. And by the way, this is water, even though I did contemplate it not being water in this cup today. I will be joined by J-Co tonight with sports news and by The Revolution with pop culture news. And can I just mention that we got hella producers and cameramen on staff tonight? Listen, yes, we are doing it here at the Fifth Column Network, okay? Anyway, I'm being a little extra, but y'all will just deal tonight, all right? Y'all know how it goes. We'll be simulcasting live on Facebook and YouTube, so leave your thoughts and comments, and we will read them aloud on the air for any discussion. Please share this on your pages, and so all your friends and all your followers can get in on the action as well. At the same time, if you have a story or if you have a news tip, hit me up. Hit me up on Twitter at Tresnay. You can also email us here at contact@thefifthcolumnnetwork.com. We want to report on the news that matters to you, so let us know. All right? Now, if you go at me on Twitter or you want to come in my DMs, keep it cool, all right? Nothing more I loathe more than the holla under the guise of business, okay? Shout out to @CB McNair Esquire on Twitter for coming up with that phrase. So keep it cool in the DMs, all right? But you know what I hate more? The new trend in homicides, the suicide under coercion. And it's a new thing among teenagers. So if you have preteens or teenagers at home or in your family, you will want to keep them away from these thugs. In Salt Lake City, Utah, an 18-year-old named Tyrell P. something. I can't pronounce his last name, okay? I'm not even going to try. White people don't try to pronounce my name, so we're just gonna call him Tyrell. He's sitting in jail facing murder charges and possibly a life sentence for convincing his 16-year-old friend to commit suicide. Yes, can you believe it? This boy's name is Tyrell. And wait though, the victim's name is Jay Chandra. And neither one of these people are people of color.
What?
I can't make this up. I cannot make this up.
It's a white Tyrell?
It's a white Tyrell and a white Jay Chandra. Anyway, they're saying that there's plenty of evidence to show that this boy was involved in this suicide so much that it would make murder. First, there's a receipt showing that Tyrell purchased the rope for Jay Chandra to hang herself. He told police that he YouTubed how to make a noose knot and even tied the knot for her. And that in his twisted game of coercion and manipulation, assured her that he would kill himself too with her. Clearly, he's a manipulative liar. The two drove to a canyon about 60 miles south of Salt Lake City, where they tied the rope to a tree and fashioned a makeshift platform of rocks and wood underneath the tree. Jay Chandra stood on the platform with the rope around her neck, while Tyrell recorded a cell phone video of her inhaling from a compressed air from a canister, giggling and stepping off of the platform, officials have said. And to top off all of this, he filmed it. He filmed the entire thing. He was seen several times in the video checking in on his friend as she hung from this tree. At one point in the 10-minute video, he says, "Give me a thumbs up if you're okay." Later, he noted in the video, hey guys, that's when the brain stops getting oxygen. He left her there with the video footage on the cell phone, and she was later found by turkey hunters. A friend told police that Tyrell has a fascination with death and told him that this was like getting away with murder. He's been jailed since his arrest and is charged with murder, which carries a maximum penalty of life in prison. This case comes after another teenager in Massachusetts by the name of Michelle Carter was convicted this very same year of involuntary manslaughter for encouraging her suicidal boyfriend to kill himself in dozens of text messages. He died by inhaling carbon monoxide in his pickup truck. Y'all know what kills me? That legally, there's an argument on whether this can even amount to murder. Yet doctors can't assist people who are terminally ill with killing themselves lest they be charged with homicide. Let me tell y'all something. We cannot stand for this kind of homicidal killers to be on our streets. We must put these thugs, these criminals, people who have no decency or value for human life, We got to put them away so that they don't put other civilized people and their children in harm's way, pretending to be your children's friends with such a harmful, fatal agenda. Because if they aren't treated as criminals, then they will grow up to be this guy. This guy here, pictured, is David Vikers. He's a 31-year-old man accused of fatally beating his girlfriend's 17-month-old son and then stealing all the girlfriend's stuff, her car stereo and laptop included, and pawning them at the pawn shop while she was at the hospital with the dying toddler. After 2 days in the hospital, the toddler was declared brain dead from injuries consistent with child abuse. There was blunt trauma to his brain, bruises to his chest, 6 broken ribs, and asphyxia. During investigation, the police learned that this guy had allegedly physically abused this boy on several occasions before his death, and yet the mama still let this man babysit the boy and his 3-year-old sister on the day he was fatally injured. Has this mama been charged? Because the last person you should be selecting to babysit your kid is the one who can't keep the hands off the kid. By the way, he was on drugs at the time. Surprise! Heroin, of course, which makes me wonder if mom's a user too, because again, I can't understand for the life of me how this crazy son of a gun was selected and crowned as the caretaker of these children. This guy has been arrested and he's been charged with 2nd-degree murder and aggravated child abuse. And I hope he's convicted because I've heard that child abusers are not treated well in prison. While we're on the subject of babies and children, Europeans are selling Africans to whites in America again. An adoption agency called the European Adoption Consultancy, which is really based out of Ohio, has been engaging in child trafficking that so closely mimics the slave trade of centuries ago. Representatives of this agency are charged with going to countries in Africa, particularly Uganda, and deceiving mothers into believing that they could provide their children with educational opportunities in the US and leading them to think that they were temporarily giving up their children for better opportunities, when instead they were really giving up their children to be sold to adoptive families who were thinking they were taking an orphan in need. Here's how the whole thing was discovered. Once the Ugandan children were with their adoptive family and learning to speak English, they were able to talk about their families back home. And the stories just didn't match what the families were being told. The adoptive families discovered that the entire adoption file, filled with stories of abuse, neglect, lack of education, and love, were all lies. One adoptive mother was horrified and immediately began attempts to reconnect her adopted daughter, Mata, to her real family in Uganda and was successful. But CNN has reported that Mata has 2 sisters who were also taken. And those families are 100% unwilling to reunite those sisters with Mata in Uganda. What kind of human beings would do such a thing? Listen, child trafficking is real because there's a market for children. There's a market for white families adopting ethnic babies. And the whole thing is just sick, just completely sick. We got any social media comments about this over there, about this topic?
No, but can I just say, damn white people.
Our white producer's like, white people. Listen, with that, we're going to run the commercial and then we're going to come back with some really great stories that you guys will want to hear.
Legal Court, we are F Society. Over the years, we've been watching you. Your financial abuse of the poor, your corruption of governments, your cover-ups of the murder of innocent ordinary citizens, all for the sake of profit. This is why we at F Society have decided you must die. We are malicious and hostile. We do not compromise. We are relentless. We will not stop until every tentacle of your evil monstrosity is sliced off at the nerve. Consider yourself warned.
Welcome back to FCN Prime News. Y'all remember Philando Castile? He was the popular nutrition services supervisor in St. Paul, Minnesota, who was tragically murdered by a rogue police officer. Well, after his death, his friends and family vowed to keep his memory alive in a very special way with the Philando Feeds the Children Fund. And boy, has it been wildly successful. Pam Fergus, a local community college professor who was inspired by the stories of Castile having paid for the lunches of many students with his own money, started this fund to help wipe out student lunch debt. In total, more than 2,000 donors have helped the fund raise over $87,000, well above the initial $5,000 goal. I know, that's applause-worthy. It's very applause-worthy. They have also established a scholarship in his memory, and the first year's recipient was awarded $5,000, but efforts are underway to increase that to more than $100,000. If you want to contribute to this fund, please visit youcaring.com and search Philando Feeds the Children. That's youcaring.com and search Philando Feeds the Children. I'll be sure to post this on the fifthcolumnnetwork.com website so that you guys can see that there. But we're really, really proud of the efforts of the people in the name of Philando Castile. Speaking of feeding people in need, a week ago, President Trump issued a warning on Twitter that he could not keep federal emergency the management agency known as FEMA, and the military and other responders in Puerto Rico forever, he wrote. His tweet was quickly viewed by some as a threat that the government might abandon its own territory before the island could recover from the devastating blow delivered by Hurricane Maria in mid-September. But on Tuesday, chef, owner, and restaurateur Jose Andres said that his nonprofit World Central Kitchen and the hundreds who have volunteered to help it would keep feeding Puerto Ricans until the locals could again take care of themselves. He told the Washington Post, "When we establish contact with a community, we maintain that contact. When we go to a place, we take care of that place until we feel it has the right conditions to sustain itself. That's what a relief organization should be." He landed in Puerto Rico on September 25th, and he immediately began working with a local chef who has a restaurant in San Juan that was already preparing batches of a famous Puerto Rican beef stew for the hungry residents. In their first couple of days together, the chefs produced enough food to feed 1,000 to 2,000 people. Within a week of his appearance in the island with his nonprofit, that number skyrocketed to 25,000 meals a day, now including sandwiches and paella. Nearly a month after Maria, Andreas and his World Central Kitchen volunteers have reached a milestone in their #ChefsForPuerto Rico campaign. As of Tuesday, they have prepared and delivered 1 million hot meals to the Puerto Rican residents. As a point of comparison, the American Red Cross has only delivered 150,000 MREs, 302,000 meal boxes, 1.4 million pounds of rice, beans, crackers, blah, 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 stuff don't nobody want, okay? Funny though, the communications person for the Red Cross made it real clear in her defense of the Red Cross that don't forget that our mission is really about providing emergency supplies and the reunification with missing loved ones. Yeah. All I know is this Andreas guy, who is originally from Spain, is doing amazing work in Puerto Rico. He has gone well beyond what FEMA has funded and working with private donations to fund his nonprofit, because FEMA only gave him enough money to feed 20,000 people. And when he asked for more, they only wanted to give him money for another 20,000 meals. And he was like, bump that. And he went out and got the donation and has really been feeding people. If you want to donate to this very legitimate, productive, results-oriented nonprofit, visit our website. We'll have the link on there as well for you to donate to his nonprofit. Since we are on the topic of places affected by hurricane natural disaster, New Orleans is preparing to elect its first black female mayor in its 300-year history. It's LaToya Cantrell versus Desiree Charbonnet. You can't, listen, you can't make this up, people. You can't make this up. I wonder if this has ever happened before. Two candidates of a racial minority running against one another in a major city for a major office. Listen, this is super exciting. According to a report in Essence magazine, Cantrell is a community organizer and Charbonnet comes from a political family with deep roots in New Orleans. Listen, this sounds like some good TV. I want to watch these debates. I want to see their beauticians do a hair battle. I want to see their MUAs do a face-off, okay? Because listen, this race is about to be everything. These two candidates will face off in their November 18th runoff. With that, we're going to go ahead and go straight to commercial. And when we come back, you'll hear from Jayco.
Hey, I'm live. Jayco is live with FCN Sports. Welcome, guys. Sorry about that interruption, but you know the show must go on. In our top story tonight, for maybe the first time in 15 years, the country of Italy might not make the World Cup. They have to do a playoff with the country of Sweden. It will be on November 10th to qualify for its 15th straight World Cup appearance. But if they lose, they're out. Italy is going crazy right now. I already know. I mean, Italy without soccer in the World Cup is like the 90s, the NBA Finals without Michael Jordan and the Bulls, which did happen a couple times. So, anyway, speaking of the NBA, you like that transition. Speaking of the NBA, the season has started. NBA, because you know why? Forget the NFL. Nobody cares about that. They don't know what they're doing. They're concussing people. They're injuring people. They're being protested by two sides of the same argument. They don't know what's going on. Ratings are down. Basketball is where it is. I'm here to tell you right now, the NBA is where it's at. And I'm going to tell you why. We've already, on day one, got drama. Golden State Warriors lost to the Houston Rockets. Blah, blah, blah. Really, we kind of don't care because we know Golden State's still going to the finals. However, without even playing their first game, the Chicago Bulls made the headlines. Forward, Nikolai Mirotic. Forward, Bobby Portis. Practice, jaw-jacking, talking junk. What happens? Mirotic comes at Portis, according to reports. They hold him off. Mirotic comes at Portis again. Portis drops him. One punch, jaw broken, concussion. Mirotic is in the hospital. What? One punch. I don't know what happened. There was a good tweet by at Walder Sports. Bobby Portis putting Nikolai Mirotic on the injured reserve and it had a nice little gif of The Undertaker chokeslamming Roman Reigns. Then, now see, here's why all of you would not have messed with Bobby Portis. I got a tweet by @JoMeAndarain. I can't even feel bad for Miritich, man. How you look into this man's eyes and still want the fade? Bobby Portis ain't the one. No, he ain't. That boy look crazy. So, I mean, Miritich is out. Portis is suspended for 8 games, but, you know, the big thing is what's going to happen with the Bulls from here on out. Probably nobody cares because they weren't really probably even going to make the playoffs, let alone be contenders. I'm a big fan of the Bulls. Don't get me wrong, but, yeah, no.
You're also a hypocrite.
In what way?
Because you're celebrating a guy that just got a concussion.
Yes, what's the
But
NBA gonna do about the concussed players?
don't watch football because of concussions.
Oh, but see,
you were celebrating.
See, the football, okay, so now that you challenged me, football are hypocrites because not even hypocrites, they're evil because they tried to deny that the concussions were even happening. They tried to cover it up. In this case, Miritich stepped to, can you pull that tweet up again? Crazy Eyes Portis. Do you see that man's eyes? He is definitely related to your girl Crazy Eyes. Orange is the new black. Now red is the new black. Bobby Portis. Crazy Eyes Bobby Portis. So, no, I'm not a hypocrite, but thanks for trying. And on to other news. First night. First game. Boston Celtics forward. Speaking of forwards, what's with all these forwards getting into it? Gordon Hayward. I don't even want to talk about it. There's a clip. Can we roll that clip right quick?
The guy that probably hit the biggest shot in Cavs history.
They're going up. Oh, my goodness. Hayward came down so hard. Okay, Hayward broke his leg. Hayward has broken his leg. Hayward
Is it over? I watched it one time, and that was nasty. So Gordon Hayward is out reportedly for the season. He lost the whole season, game 1. Now, this was a new acquisition from the Boston Celtics. They were, of course, trying to build a team that they think maybe could beat the reigning Eastern Conference champions, the Cleveland Cavaliers. Now, what's very interesting, there's a couple different angles that I am going to take with this story. First of all, when he was 24, Paul George, at then Indiana Pacer, now Oklahoma City Thunder, Paul George went up for a dunk. It was, I think, an Olympic game. Broke his leg basically in half. It was officially labeled a open tibia fibula fracture. Okay? Took him just about a full season to recover. Now, he was 24 at that time. Gordon Hayward is now 27. Not a huge difference, but when we're talking about years and miles on your body, and Gordon Hayward has suffered from a dislocated ankle and fractured tibia. Can he even recover? Is he going to be another Paul George where he can go through, the rehab and get back to where he was before? Or is he going to be more like a Derrick Rose, still can play, still can contribute, but will never be the same again? I don't see him coming all the way back from this injury, and it's a sad thing. So then let's talk about the Celtics and Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving made a big stink about leaving Cleveland. Now, they said it wasn't personal, right? It wasn't about LeBron, whatever. He wanted to go off and do his own thing and show that he could lead his own team, despite the fact of already having had that chance. He gets to the Celtics. The Celtics are looking good. They're looking like the one team in the East that could contend with the Cavaliers. First game, Hayward out. So now basically you have a mid-tier team who probably won't even be able to get past the Washington Wizards. Where you at, Kyrie? You left a man, and if you look at all the major players in the NBA and all the injuries that have happened, name one man who has not had a major injury, who has not missed significant time on that court. Could it be LeBron James, the man that you just abandoned to go make your own way, to go blaze your own trail, even though you're not in Portland?
Shut up. You tried it.
We have a comment.
What's the comment?
The Reggie Mathis says it's time for Kyrie to put on his big boy
Yes, well, see, this is the thing. He tried to put on his big boy drawers and realized he still had Superman undies. So now he's looking around like, damn, what am I going to do? You could have stayed with LeBron. You could have sucked it up, whatever the anger. Y'all could have added Gordon Hayward instead of Love, something like that. Made the moves that they made. They have the backups and been a contender for years. But instead, you left. I was actually talking to Revolution about this. He brought up a good point. If LeBron is chasing Mike's ghost, which everybody's talking about, LeBron's chasing Mike's ghost, everybody else is chasing the ghost of the man who's chasing Mike's ghost. So where does that leave you guys? Where does that leave you, Kyrie Irving? Like I said, a mid-tier team, not even going to make the conference finals. Well played, Kyrie. Well played.
Ain't nothing wrong with Superman undies.
Nothing's wrong with Superman undies unless, you actually think that they're going to stop bullets. It's not happening. But thanks anyway, producer. And real quick, I would be remiss if not talking about the Major League Baseball playoffs, although I think my producer has something else she wants to say to me. This is the Interrupt J. Cole night. That's okay. Go ahead. Go right ahead. What's up?
Larry Banks Jr. says Kobe Bryant.
What about him?
I don't know. I think
Kobe Bryant doesn't play anymore, Larry.
I think
Kobe Bryant is not in the league.
when you were talking about people chasing.
Oh, yeah, no, I know. Well, I hope he wasn't talking about Larry. I hope he wasn't saying LeBron is chasing Kobe because nobody has ever made that comparison. He's not. We can have that discussion at another time, but since I got the air right now, I'm going to tell everybody Kobe is not in between LeBron and Jordan. It ain't happening. So, back to the Major League Baseball playoffs. The New York Yankees, who were down 0-2, have come back and turned it around on Houston Astros. They are actually up 3-2. One more game, and they're going to the series. While my other World Series pick, who was still in it, the Cubs, are one loss away from going to the World Series, which makes J. Cole, for now, a really good NBA announcer, predictor, and a horrible Major League Baseball predictor. But, we move on. We go with the flow. And then my last story, pole dancing has now been officially determined as an international sport and could make the Olympic Games. Yes. I don't have any follow-up to that story. I just thought that was really interesting. So that is sports. I am, again, J. Cole. Follow me at J. Cole is it. And back to you, Trezza Nate, I think.
Am I live?
Yes, you're live.
All right. Hey, everybody. So you just heard from J. Cole and the sports stories. Am I kicking it right to the Revolution?
Nah, you go to the commercial.
I'm going. We're going to commercial. There we go. We'll be right back.
It's on me. Oh, hey everybody, welcome back. This is FCN Prime News. I don't know what goes on around here, I promise. They just tell me to shut up and show up. Just in that order. What do you guys tell me to show up and then shut up? No, you guys tell me to shut up first. Yeah. Nevertheless, I'm the Revolution. You're watching FCN. It is time for the pop culture corner minute. It plus, I don't know. Nobody names these segments, man. It's just pop culture. So I thought
Second because it's 8:12.
It's
Pop culture
second.
second.
Yeah. Now. Anyway, I'm the Revolution, and I'm going to give you everything about pop culture that you may not have heard of, but it's really not everything because it's only a few stories because I don't have a lot of time to talk about a whole bunch of stuff, unlike Chesney and J. Cole.
Gonna get your time cut more right there.
Probably. Producers are supposed to shut up during airtime. Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, my first story is actually going to be... You have something to say? Why is everybody making faces when I get on air?
I'm so sorry. I'm looking at
Y'all are so distracting, man. Like, I can't do my thing. Everybody is like...
I'm trying to make sure you look good on camera. And
Listen, when I show up, I just look good, baby. I look good. Huh?
A real artist stays on track. Oh.
No, that's not true.
Okay.
A lot of artists get distracted.
So what's your story?
My first story is Margot Robbie is Tanya Harding in a new film about Tanya Harding. I didn't know we really needed a film about Tanya Harding, but apparently, white America has deemed that, you know what? We need to get a trailer park trash, big budgeted film about the queen of the trailer park.
Make America great again.
Yes, that's that crowd, and they want Tanya Harding. Ladies and gentlemen, let's watch the teaser from Margot Robbie's, is it I, Tanya? I think so. Let's take a look.
America. They want someone to love. But they want someone to hate. And the haters always say, Tanya, tell the truth. There's no such thing as truth. I mean, it's bullshit.
Okay, so I had a whole nother thing to get into, but behind the scenes, one of our on-air personalities, Hoke Tone, literally is watching the trailer, and he says very candidly, very sincerely, who the hell is Tanya Harding? Let me say this, I don't think that's an indictment against Tone. I don't. I think that's an indictment on trailer park trash Tanya Harding, that you all have tried to make her relevant. Yeah. And that you have tried to make her into a celebrity because she was awful.
This is not a satire?
It has to be a satire.
It's comedy.
It has to be.
Okay.
Yeah, I believe it is. But nevertheless, this film is going to come out soon. But the thing that gets me is Margot Robbie has already been talked up as possibly getting an Oscar nomination for this role. Yeah, she's a great actress, but can I call foul on something? That's not an accent from the Pacific Northwest. Why is she just doing a watered down version of Harley Quinn, who was doing an upbeat version of the chick she played in Wolf of Wall Street? Is the only accent that she can do is the New York-ish sort of accent? Is that the only, the Queens New York accent? Is the Queens pseudo Brooklyn New York accent? Nevertheless, I think the accent was trash, and I think the film is going to be marginally decent, but, hey, who cares? On to my, I wouldn't call it my favorite story, but it's a story nevertheless. Green Arrow premiere episode is coming soon. And in this, they put a clip out where Oliver Queen makes a mention to the world's greatest detective. Huh? Roll that beautiful Queen footage.
Ladies and gentlemen, please, if you want to know what I have to say, it would probably help if you could hear me. Thank you. I'm going to tell you two things, both of which you probably already know. First, this is important. I am not the Green Arrow.
If you're not the Green Arrow, then who is? Who is the Green Arrow?
Number two, photos can be doctored. They could have put Bruce Wayne's head on that body. Has Bruce Wayne left Gotham to hang out in Star City recently? No. Now, if I was running around the city during the day and managing it as mayor while running around at night, frightening criminals as a vigilante, that really would make me a superhero. But I'm not. I'm just the mayor. Thank you very much.
Yo, let's say what it is. It was cute. I'm not getting ready to pontificate and get all excited like, oh, let's say this is a Black Panther trailer. Nah, this ain't that. However, I do want to say this. I think everybody was abuzz on Twitter. I didn't pull anything off of Twitter except one tweet, which is very interesting because Gotham, Fox's Gotham, the TV show about young Bruce Wayne becoming Batman. Do we have that tweet? No? Oh, okay. I believe it was sent. So anyway, Gotham tweeted, I gotta now look down because for some reason it didn't get pulled and it didn't air. It's okay though. See what I'm telling y'all how they do my segments? It's cool though. Gotham tweeted, Bruce Wayne was still in Gotham last time we checked. I was like, oh, snap. What? But it's not really that big of a deal. It's not that big of a deal. Here's what's going on that this is actually going to segue into my next segment. Arrowverse is cool. Warner Brothers and their television and film properties are a mess. They're a huge mess. And they know good and damn well that they cannot bring Batman in there. So everybody that's on Twitter getting all excited like, oh, are they going to show Batman? They can't. But that hasn't stopped them from confusing us already. Think about it. They have a Justice League film coming out, which I'm getting ready to mention, and it has a Flash. A whole nother guy playing the Flash while there's a Flash television show on. And then there's a Gotham show on with young Bruce Wayne, but then there's old man Bruce Wayne, and then there's all of this other stuff that we just don't get what's going on. Like, what the hell? Oh, and Supergirl has a Superman. That's not the Superman. And he's nothing like the Superman. What are y'all doing? And this is what I want to get to next. Marvel, the king of the mountain right now, is doing what Marvel does. They have released the date for the upcoming Netflix program, The Punisher. And ladies and gentlemen, not only did they release the date, they released the new trailer. We're not going to play the new trailer because it's too long and I don't want Facebook or YouTube to tell us that we are infringing on people's copyrights. Nevertheless, we're not going to show it. So if you want to find it, I'm sure we might have a link to it. Nevertheless, guess what that date is? Are you ready? Boom. November 17th. Okay. Oh, thank you. Okay. See what they do? Nobody has nothing for the pop culture kid because don't nobody care about this but me. So that's fine. This is why November 17th is important. Because Warner Brothers is releasing the theatrical debut of the Justice League November 17th. And Marvel is pulling the ultimate F-boy move. Because Marvel, y'all being some F-boys right now. But guess what? I am here for it. I am here for all the F-boy uckery. You hear what I'm telling you? Y'all see what I did there? I broke it up to keep my mama happy because she said she just checked in. Because she going to be tweeting and texting me and all that stuff. And I ain't got time for Don's mama-ness. Nevertheless, this is not the first time that Marvel has pulled a juggernaut move like this. If you all remember when Civil War was coming out, Batman v Superman, they both had the same release date. And they sat there and they were playing a game of chicken. And Marvel was like this. And Warner was like this. And Marvel was like this. And Warner was like this. And they had to change their freaking date. So guess what? Marvel has reverse engineered this and said, you know what? We're going to punk y'all asses again. And this is crazy because this is going to show us all. This is why this is important. I think it's a non-story, but still a story. Here's why this is going to be important. Because we're going to see which is going to win. The time-honored classic or the new-fangled invention. Ladies and gentlemen, coming to the ring, the challenger and former heavyweight champion, he is dinner and a movie. Boo! Boo! Ladies and gentlemen, coming in, fighting out of the red corner, he is the reigning, the defending, the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, Netflix and chill. Real talk. You have to decide right now what you're going to do for everyone that's out there. Are you going to stay at home and binge watch all of the Punisher, or are you going to get dressed, get in your car, spend gas money, have to pay 2 tickets, about $22, about $25 in concession, sit there on those itchy ass seats that somebody came there with their little pet bed bugs, then leave, go home, and guess what? You probably ain't gonna get none after that date. That's real talk. I'm just saying, I think Marvel is pulling one of the best moves that they pulled out thus far. I am excited. Are you excited? Let me know in the comments below. I am the Revolution. This has been Pop Culture. Take it away, Ms. Resonate.
I'm sorry. That was hilarious. The Netflix and chill versus the movie dinner and movie date. But who doesn't like to get dressed up? I like to get dressed up. Anyway, it's time to wrap this thing up. We got a show coming right after this. As you guys know, on Thursday nights, we have a Scandal pregame show with Starla K. Mathis. So she will be joining us in just a second. And tomorrow is Friday. So for all you science fiction film fans, we will have Fi Night showing another great movie for you guys. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that as well on Friday. And with that, we're going to wrap it up because we got to get the next set of people in here. So we guys will see you guys next time.